just to reiterate, make sure we give our undivided attention because, you know, she's taking time out of her day to share her experiences with you. And like I've always said, it's not about somebody knowing more, it's about learning from people's experience, and I think there's a lot of knowledge within that. And really, it's about what you can do for others, not what you can do for yourself. That's where true happiness lies. So her coming here is really nice for you, and it's an excellent opportunity for you to learn. So without further ado, I'm not going to give any more. I'll let her finish the rest of the story. But Chef Terri, who would give her a round of applause.
Awesome to be here and be having your listening for the next 50 minutes. Brian was really nice to invite me, Mr. Lukens, and I'm Jake's Koleski and Alex Koleski's mom, and Jake has Intro to Business, so I was delighted to come and speak to you guys about my journey of being an entrepreneur. So first, I want to ask the class, raise your hand if you have any desire to be an entrepreneur. All right, better than the last class. Wait, keep your hands up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoa, there's a lot of you. 9 of you want to be entrepreneurs. Well, I'm going to ask the same question to you after our conversation. So you've watched a bunch of the YouTubes, the Shark Tank audition, you watched the speech I gave to Crane, so you kind of have an idea of where I came from, but maybe some of this will be a little repetitive, but I'll just try to keep it short so that we can talk more, okay? When I was your age, I actually had known that I developed a love for 2 things. One of them was to be creative, okay? And I love being creative and making stuff, and you know, most of it was around food. And the other thing that I loved was I loved people, and I loved new experiences. And I always felt for me, because I didn't really love school, to be honest, okay, you know, high school. I love my college career, okay, but I would rather sit down and talk to someone who was smarter than me and, you know, or better than me, because I was just a kid in some way, okay, and so I wanted to take their knowledge. And I loved people. So when I went to college, I actually decided on a career. I didn't really know what to study because I was really interested in business, but more interested in communicating with people. So I actually chose communications as my major. And that's kind of like, people like, oh, communications, you know, like why not engineering? You took the easy road, you know? And I just did it, and I was so happy with what I chose because what it did was it actually made me skilled in speaking in front of people, speaking to people, listening to people, understanding where we came from as people, where we want to go as people. And I had a great college career at University of Arizona. And after school, I went home to New York City, and I started working, living with my parents. I'm like, oh, I gotta get out of here. I need my own place, you know. I just lived in Arizona for 4 years, and now I was here, and then I got a job opportunity with a company that was actually run by my parents in New York, and they said, well, we have a job for you, but it's in Kansas. It's Kansas, and I was like, Kansas? I'm like, is that anywhere near Chicago? Because I don't know, all I think about Kansas is the Wizard of Oz. You know, I'm from New York City, I'm from New York, and we never heard of Kansas. And so he goes, I don't know, let's take out a map. So we looked at the map, and there was Kansas, and it was a couple of states away from Chicago, and I said, well, I'm not going to go to Kansas, but I'll live in Chicago because I have great friends there, and I'll commute to Kansas. And that's what I did. And I started a sales career right after college, and I picked the sales career because I knew that in this job, that if I sold, you know, $1 million, I would make X. But if I sold 10 million, I make X, 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 right? And there was no limit onto what I could make. So for an entrepreneur person like myself, wanting to make money, wanting to do the best, and just wanting to go get it, sales job was really a great tool to this journey of becoming an entrepreneur.